I didn't know that I was living in autopilot, run by an identity that I built to cover my inner wounds and my shadows. Looking back, that was the moment that life said, okay, so I think this kid is ready. Let's break him. I was passing immigration, and the immigration officer stopped and looked at the screen and said, wait a minute. And then she went to the supervisor, and the supervisor asked to me, have you ever had any legal issue? In that second, all the pilot, the freedom, the future, gone. They rated me, and after a simulator session, I was back. But back in the same patterns, the same behavior, nothing changed. Life gave me a second chance, and I just kept doing the same. While preparing the flight, the lawyers called me. Mateo, we lost. Get lost. I had no idea that the things were gonna get ugly. Why is this happening to me? Crying from the bottom of my heart and totally broken is when all the things you believe in, all your identity, who you think you are, collapses.
Good evening, this is Tata 31, hold short runway 34.
Roger, hold short, runway 34, is not much.
If your life feels like it's happening to you, no momentum, no flow, money is stuck, lack of energy, and you keep telling yourself the same lies. It's the family, the kids, the job, lack of time. Even if the outside looks perfect, the car, the job, the family, the money. But in the inside, you feel empty, stressed, restless. Something in you is collapsing, and it is not a mistake. You're not broken. You are awakening. And if you ignore it, you will repeat the same loops and the same patterns for the rest of your life. My awakening didn't start with spirituality. It started with emptiness, escape. And my whole identity was devastated in just one sentence. You're being arrested. Hi, my name is Mateo. I'm an airline pilot living in Asia and a lifelong seeker of self-development and wisdom. Welcome to Inner Navigation. Here, I take you with me through real shadow work and self-development as they happen in real life, not in theory, to reveal the internal mechanics behind our repeating loops and patterns. You will hear my own transformation as it unfolds and the real tools that help me change from the inside out. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you came here to be, your authentic, grounded, and abundant self. So let's dive in.
31, wind 34, 0 degree 16 knots, runway 34, clear for takeoff.
Clear to go, runway 34.
I used to have it all. I had the pilot career, the money, the sexy partner, the beautiful bike, the amazing car, travel anywhere in the world. And yet I was empty inside. I was totally devastated. My life was flying, party, drink, get drunk, hangover, recover until I had to fly next, or looking for a woman to have sex, and then I just repeat the same again and again. And I was even proud of it. I didn't know that I was living in autopilot, run by an identity that I built to cover my inner wounds and my shadows. And that identity got cracked when I was drunk. You know, when I was drunk, I used to throw all my valuables, my watch, throw it away, my car, kick it. And I always ask to myself, why is this for? What for? Yeah, totally empty inside.
21, 1 to position contact. No decision, climate another 1000 feet on Cache 1020.
At the age of 23 years old, I was working in the best airline in Colombia, and I had it all. I was living with my mom. I was living with my sister, her husband, and they have to see all my ego growing and exploding all around. You know, I used to get drunk and I used to shout inside my room, why I'm not feel happy? I have it all. Why I am not happy? I was shouting at my mom, at life, at the universe, to God. And basically I was screaming my wounds out. Specifically, I was shouting the lack of affection that I didn't feel from my mom. I felt that I was missing that warmth of love from my mom. And in my adult life, now it was being reflected. All the things that when I was a child, I felt as unfair. And that was the beginning of my answer. When I shout, why is this happening to me? Looking back, that was the moment that life said, okay, so I think this kid is ready. Let's break him.
100 meters, turn left out, be call with some own navigation.
Check.
Even though I was living with my mom and I was in a really bad relationship situation with her, I invited her and my sister with her husband to Europe. I was rising, lived in Colombia all my time, so going to Europe for a vacation, it was like, wow, great thing. And I brought my girlfriend at that time, and it was like living or watching an advertisement from the outside. Just everything very beautiful, everything nice in the outside, the mountains, the Swiss Alps, the Eiffel Tower in France, Belgium, Italy, Monaco. And yet, it felt also like a nightmare. Every day fighting with my girlfriend. Every day trying to numb myself while drinking, not feeling whole. Even though I was living the most beautiful places in the world, I was feeling it inside.
Navigation, climbing now 6,900 meters here, 110.
My family returned at first, and after a few days, I returned back to Colombia with my girlfriend. And the only thing I was thinking inside of me was where I'm gonna live. I have my car in the apartment of my girlfriend, but we fight a lot, and my mom fighting with her. Even when they came back to Colombia, we kept fighting. And I had my mind in a total chaos. I was passing immigration, and the immigration officer stopped and looked at the screen and said, wait a minute. And then she went to the supervisor, and the supervisor asked to me, have you ever had any legal issue before? And I said, no. I know that there was a small case open, but nothing, not really legal issue. And he said to me, you're being arrested. In that second, all the pilot, the freedom, the future, gone. Even though it wasn't instant, every hour I thought it's gonna be okay. I will just get over this quickly. And I thought even everything will get solved the same day or the next day. And every hour that passed, it was, I see myself more and more in trouble. The lawyers of the demanding part, they followed me for 2 years, and they did a great job managing all the laws. And the first meeting or legal meeting was for the judge to decide if I can stay in freedom or not while going through all my case. So based on the judge, I was considered a danger for the victim, for society, and since I was a pilot, I could escape anytime. So they locked me up.
The 5, say again, you're passing altitude.
6,200.
I tasted a place no one wants to be in. I was in La Modelo jail in Bogota, Colombia, and there the feeling when you lose your freedom, You feel your body and your nervous system in constant fight or flight mode all day, every day, for a couple of months that I was there. Cannot be described. And with the lawyers, we managed to handle the legal situation. So the judge will allow me to stay out of jail while going through my case. So they managed to pull me out of jail, and I was able to come back to fly. Actually, the company supported me during that time. They waited me, and after a simulator session, I was back in the same patterns, the same behavior. Nothing changed. I was doing exactly the same.
View entries with A5, climb to flight level 140, maintain speed to 50 knots or less.
Life gave me a second chance, and I just kept doing the same. So there was another legal meeting. We were expecting for a second one, in which it was going to be a second decision to see if I can stay in freedom or I have to go to jail again. I remember that day I was at the airport. I was going to fly with a captain that was a really good friend of mine. And I have the phone glued to my hand, talking to the lawyers, and I was expecting the result of the meeting. I went to the dispatch office. While preparing the flight, the lawyers called me. Mateo, we lost. Get lost. I remember those exact words. I tell the captain, my friend, bro, I cannot fly. They fucked me again, and I have to go. And I just called the company and say I cannot fly, and I grabbed the first flight straight to my family hometown, and I went to hide in my farmhouse. And I just disappeared there.
510, contact radar 133.A2.
I was hiding, convinced that it would be solved soon. And I could do it the same, wasting money. Even I went to the main city to nice restaurants, go to eat good food, make party in the farmhouse, and just spending the money because I was expecting in my mind, I had the mental belief that it was gonna be fine. And I believed that, but time passed and passed. Late 2019, I was there doing exactly the same things, trying to live the same life I lived before. So going parties, going around drinking, and I had no idea that the things were gonna get ugly.
140, cancel all tilt restriction, descend maintain 3,000 meters on standard.
Cancel our restriction, just maintain 3,000 meters on a standard.
A couple of months after COVID hit, so everything stopped. I was in the farmhouse, everyone was in the lockdown, so the process didn't move at all. All prosecutor and judge office, everything closed, so the legal case couldn't go anywhere. And I was in a mental cage because everyone was in lockdown, but I had a really big, amazing farm in which I can run kilometers and kilometers if I wanted. I had rivers, nature, forests all around me, and yet I feel enclosed, totally depressed every day, crying on the floor. My mom seeing me collapse every single day, me hitting myself against the walls. And I didn't know if I wanted to live anymore. I was praying to God, hitting myself against the wall and asking, why is this happening to me? Why? And I cry and I say to God, why this is happening to me? Crying from the bottom of my heart and totally broken. That was my lowest point. For the first time, I tried to do something for my pain. I look in YouTube for meditation, and whatever it just came in, I just tried to calm down myself. And I felt something, but I was terrified of God due to the belief system I grew up in. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witnesses, and I was told that if I don't do as God says, I was gonna get killed, and I was terrified. Nothing made sense to me. Even my sister taught me about karma, and I tried some online sessions, and yeah, I just didn't know what was happening. My body was reacting bad, throwing up, crazy things happening all around. That's when my identity truly started collapsing. People call it dark night of the soul. I call it the dark night of the ego because it is when all the things you believe in, all your identity, who you think you are, collapses.
Tower, surface wind 290 degrees, 5 meters per second, QH 1021, runway tree trip, there's land.
Clear to land, runway tree.
So I invite you to ask yourself, where is your life collapsing right now? What identities, roles, or beliefs are dying inside of you? Status, partner, job, money. In the next episode, we're going to dive deeper into the loops and patterns that keep you running from the place you don't want to feel.
One time.